Hello friends. Today we are going to learn a lesson from the story of Jacob the cheater. He who asked his brother to give the birthright with a bowl of stew, and later with the help of mother Rebecca, he cheated even his father to gain the blessing that Isaac has to give to Esau. In this world, people are trying to achieve success by cheating others. As a result, the one who cheated others becomes rich, and the others are becoming the victims of such activities. Therefore, my dear friends, today we will learn about do not cheat others, as we can find in the book of Genesis, chapter 27, verse 36. Esau said, "Isn't he rightly named Jacob? This is the second time he has taken advantage of me. He took my birthright, and now he's taken my blessing." Then he asked, "Haven't you reserved any blessing for me?" In the book of Genesis, chapter 25, verse 23 says, "And the Lord said to her, 2 nations are in your womb, and 2 peoples born of you shall be divided. One shall be stronger than the other. The elder shall serve the younger." This particular verse clearly shows that the elder son Esau will serve the younger son Jacob. After knowing all these things, that Esau will be the servant of Jacob, why does Rebekah help her younger son Jacob to cheat his father Isaac and receive the blessing that has kept for Esau? Isaac believed his time had come to die, and this was his way of settling his affairs, sort of a last will and testament. His old age was evident in his weakened eyesight. In the willfulness of his old age, he was determined to pass on the blessing to Esau. Despite what the Lord had said and what the boys had shown in their lives, the fact Isaac tried to dispense the blessing secretly showed he knew what he wanted to do was wrong. Isaac blessed Jacob as the spiritual head of the family. Isaac had the right to pass on this blessing related to the covenant of Abraham. The son who received this blessing was able to pass it on to his descendants. The words of the blessing were filled with pictures of the Lord's rich bounty, and they echoed some of the words of the covenant God made with Abraham. Esau's hatred rose against Jacob for many reasons, but mostly it was out of pride and envy. Pride in that his brother would be preferred before him in regard to the covenant. Envy in that his brother would enjoy greater prosperity. Esau's somewhat spiritual concern for the blessing of his father quickly disappeared in a bitter hatred of Jacob, a bitter hatred that also had murderous intent. Esau planned to kill Jacob as soon as Isaac died, and this was a comfort to Esau. So let us learn through this narrative what makes Jacob to cheat his own brother 2 times. Number 1. Feeling of superiority. In the book of Genesis, chapter 25, verse 29 to 34 says, "Once when Jacob was cooking stew, Esau came in from the field, and he was exhausted. And Esau said to Jacob, 'Let me eat some of the red stew, for I am exhausted.' Jacob said, 'Sell me your birthright now.' Esau said, "I am about to die. Of what use is a birthright to me?" Jacob said, "Swear to me now." So he swore to him and sold his birthright to Jacob. Then Jacob gives Esau bread and lentil stew, and he ate and drank, and rose and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. This particular passage clearly shows that Jacob has a desire of becoming the superior than his elder brother. Therefore, he asks his brother to sell the birthright to him with a bowl of stew. Likewise, in this world, people are trying to become superior by blackmailing the other's emotion and telling them to sell their moral ethics. Number 2. Jealous. In the book of Genesis, chapter 25, verse 28 says, "And Isaac loved Esau, because he did eat of his venison. But Rebekah loved Jacob." This verse clearly shows that Jacob was not so favorite of his father, whereas Esau was loved by Isaac, because Esau was a skillful hunter, a man of the open country. Isaac had a tasteful of wild game, as if his affection were determined by his stomach. Secondly, Rebekah became jealous as Isaac planned to bless Esau with the abundant blessings. Therefore, Rebekah planned to gain that blessing for his younger son Jacob, instead of trusting God to fulfill what he had promised. In Genesis chapter 25 verse 23, Rebekah used manipulative scheming to accomplish what she thought was God's plan, and likely also her preference. As Spurgeon stated that, "Good men have gone very wrong when they have thought of aiding in the fulfillment of promises and prophecies." See how Rebekah erred in trying to get the promised blessing for Jacob. We had better leave the Lord's decrees in the Lord's hand. Likewise, in the present scenario, people are jealous of other success, either in right way or wrong way. Most of us do as Rebekah does. Number 3. Selfishness. In the book of Genesis chapter 27 verse 5 to 10 says, "But Rebekah overheard what Isaac had said to his son Esau. So when Esau left to hunt for the wild game, she said to her son Jacob, 'Listen, I overheard your father say to Esau, bring me some wild game and prepare me a delicious meal. Then I will bless you in the Lord's presence before I die. Now, my son, listen to me. Do exactly as I tell you. Go out to the flocks and bring me 2 fine young goats. I'll use them to prepare your father's favorite dish. Then take the food to your father so he can eat it and bless you before he died." This passage clearly shows that Rebekah becomes so selfish that she advised her youngest son to cheat even his own father. Likewise, the world today becomes so selfish that even people never thought of his own people and began to cheat everyone for own self-benefit. In the selfish nature, people do not recognize even own father, brother, sisters, friends, and society, as they think of own selfish benefit. Therefore, my beloved brothers and sisters, this story teaches us that we should not cheat others, as Jacob and his mother did to his own father Isaac and to his elder brother Esau. After knowing that God has chosen Jacob to be superior and Esau will serve him, but the fallen nature imposed him to choose the wrong way. As a result, Jacob ran away to save his own life from the hand of Esau. As it is written in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 1 verse 5 says, I knew you before I formed you in your mother's womb. Before you were born, I set you apart and appointed you as my prophet to the nation. Hope this short message has given us a new insight that we should not cheat others as God has planned for each and every one of us. May God bless you all. Amen.